welcome to another episode of the Verde Valley Experience, live from the office series. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope that your life is going smoothly and everyone in your family is healthy, and really appreciate you taking time to join us and watch the show. As always, I'm your host, Jennifer Cohen. Great lineup today. We'll be visiting with Kelly Wilson, the Executive Director of the Old Town Mission. We'll talk about how their food pantry needs have doubled, but they've risen to the challenge and have exceeded the expectations. They're doing beautifully. They're doing meals to go. They're still doing home delivery. They have the homeless assistance. They also do free legal counsel. Is really amazing everything that's going on at the mission on a normal day. During this pandemic crisis, they have risen to the challenge, and it'll be wonderful talking with Kelly. Then we'll have a visit with Colleen Gilboy, the Executive Director of the Verde Valley Fairgrounds. We did speak to Colleen on our last show. She gave us the heartbreaking news that the Verde Valley Fair had to be canceled this year, which we expected during this time. Well, what can you do? But the great news is that the auction for all those beautiful animals that the FFA children and all the other children in the Verde Valley have raised and bred and taken care of, the auction is still going to happen. It's still going to happen. vvfair.com. If you go there, you can register for it. Colleen's going to give us all the details when she talks to us. Then we'll meet with Richard City. He's the president for Gardens for Humanity. It's time to plant your virus victory garden. Yes, just like World War II, the victory gardens took over and produced over 40% of the food in the area. This is going to be a great time and a great thing for us, a great way to get out with your kids, enjoy this beautiful spring weather. The weather is just gorgeous. It's a perfect time for planting. Richard is going to go through all of that with us. He's just a beautiful man. Talk about all the good things in soil. He's got full of great stuff. And you can go to gardensforhumanity.org, get more information there. Then we'll have a visit with a beautiful musician. I love Marie Jarreau. She's going to join us. She's written a coronavirus song, which is adorable and, of course, timely and wonderful and catchy, too, of course. So, we're going to hear that. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, thanks for joining us.
Orkin has pest control down to a science.
When your business chooses Orkin's Precision Protection Program, you get a tailored pest control program for your specific industry and environment.
Your business can benefit from over a century of experience, training, and scientific knowledge that define the Orkin man.
Maximum protection, minimum exposure, backed by one of the industry's most comprehensive guarantees.
Choose your locally owned and operated Northern Arizona Orkin and get more than an exterminator. Get an expert.
Welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. Now I have the pleasure of sharing office space, albeit over the internet, with Kelly Wilson, the Executive Director of the Old Town Mission. Please, Kelly, how has it been going for you with all this? I hate to call it chaos, but I mean, hey, that's kind of what we've been dealing with.
It really was. And, it started out as chaos. So when everything kind of happened, most of our volunteers, they're all elderly. So they kind of just maneuvered out, and we were left, and we were kind of, how do we do this? What do we do? Out the door. But we pulled our staff down from the thrift store, and we came up with a process. So now it feels like nothing to just pass out 400 food boxes, 500 food boxes in a week. So we really came up with a process. So after the first week, we kind of leveled into a new normal, and it's just running very smoothly and just really nice. So it took us a little while, but we're ready, and we're, back into a new flow, and it's working out really great.
Excellent. That is true. The new normal for everyone. It's very different, yes, but it is the new normal. Part of the new normal for you is that the need has doubled as far as the food boxes go. How are you handling that increase? I mean, doubled.
It was. The first week was a little bit scary, but it felt like it had been really slow. So at the end of the day, when she said we did 385 in one Thursday, we were like, it felt like we were so slow, but we have a conveyor belt box thing. So the boxes just roll down the conveyor belt, and we just fill it in. So by the time it reaches the door, it's going into the hands of a neighbor that needs it. So It's really, we're able to process people so much smoother, but it really took a hit on our storage because we had so much food in the storage. And when we started hitting those numbers, we depleted those really fast. So we realized we have to start ordering food every week. So that was a big shock. The first week was how many more people needed help. And we're still sitting about 400 to 500 food boxes each week. apart from the to-go meals. So we're still serving to-go meals, and our homeless resource center, of course, is still open. We're not going to just send them away, but we changed the protocol. So, only 8 people come in at a time. We clean, we sanitize everything, and then another group comes in. So the big thing was just really that first week adjusting, and then ordering enough supplies to continue to meet the demand every week.
For sure. Now the food pantry operates Mondays and Thursdays from 9 to 2.
Yes.
And what's the criteria to come and get a food box?
Really, it's just anybody that's in need and is hungry. So if you live in the Verde Valley, and of course I include Sedona, Camp Verde, all those places in the Verde Valley. So really, if you're hungry and you need some food, you qualify for the food bank. We're handing out applications, but we're not doing the computer process. Everything is pre-packaged, but in each box, it's got some frozen meat, some bread, desserts, canned goods, dry goods, produce, fruit, everything. So we're just filling up the boxes. So really, if you're hungry and in need, you just got to come in. And it's this whole time, even though on a Thursday we'll do 325 people, I've never seen a line of more than 10 people because it goes that quick. It's just so efficient now. So
right.
Everyone's like, we should just keep doing this forever. But I'm like, no, the Old Town Mission's always been about friendly neighbors, getting to know everybody. So we're going to go back eventually sometime to the grocery shopping way that we've always done it. But for now, it's working out really good with prepackaged.
Well, that's great. Now the meals to go that are available Wednesdays and Fridays at noon, what's going on with those?
Oh gosh, we have Chef Irish, who is a phenomenal chef. So he makes some incredible meals. Yesterday we had the pulled pork with coleslaw, potato wedges. He's making chicken, broccoli soup. And really, you just come to the door at noon and we've got them in to-go meals all ready to go. And we just hand them out the door. So between 60 and 80 on a Wednesday. And then of course, on the weekends, we still have someone passing out sack lunches with the sandwich.
Yep, Saturdays at 11, a paper bag lunch with sandwich, chips, drinks, a granola bar, utensils, and Sunday morning breakfast burritos, sandwiches, and a drink. That's amazing. So you've got every single day covered, haven't you?
We really do. Tuesday we still have the Homeless Resource Center, 9 to 11. So really, if someone is hungry, there is food at the mission 7 days a week. It's just a different look every day.
Oh, very good. Yeah, the Homeless Resource Center, which is available Mondays and Thursdays from 9 to 1 and Tuesdays from 9 to 11. What do you have there?
Well, it's anyone that's without a residence, or if you don't have somewhere to shower, you can come in, and we're passing out tickets now. So we have 8 tickets per hour. So that way we keep it limited to how many people are in the building. They can come in, get a shower. Sometimes we'll make waffles, or we have a lot of Starbucks sandwiches. So the breakfast burritos, those things that they can heat up. They can get food to take with them and get a change of clothes, do that, and then take a little bit of water and stuff with them and get everything that they need. And
nice. That's fantastic. Yeah. You're keeping the community well fed, well taken care of, and you're still doing free legal advice, and that's huge. I mean, food, yes, we've got to have food, but legal advice, talk about life changing, someone getting the correct advice during a tough time or a crisis in their lives, and important stuff like landlord and tenant, family law and divorce, debt collection and bankruptcy, criminal legal matters.
Yes.
How is it that you're able to provide that?
Well, we really worked with one of our attorneys one-on-one, and we just asked her, how can we still meet these people even though we can't come together and meet as we usually do? And she suggested that we just do a phone. So we are screening everybody. Jill and I are taking the names, asking them which legal advice they need, and then we're forwarding it over to the attorneys, and she's distributing it to lots of different attorneys that can just make a phone call whenever they're available. And we are getting a lot of people worried about the unemployment, because it's still not easy. People think, oh, it's open to everybody, but it's still not easy to figure out if you don't know how to do it. So we're getting a lot of that and a lot of tenant landlord concerns right now. And so it's working out really great. We're forwarding the information to the attorneys, and she's just emailing it out, and the attorneys are reaching out by phone. So everything's virtual, and so no one has to be coming, break that social distancing and come in contact with anything they don't want to. So it's working out really well. And
Excellent.
who knows, we might continue this way for a while.
Yeah, I bet. I can see that this need, as far as legal advice, I mean, we've seen that the need for the food boxes has doubled. I can see that the need for the legal advice will also double. I mean, with the, got what now? Something like 20 million people out of work across the United States. And then, well, how are they going to pay their rent? How are they going to pay their mortgage? I can see there's an unfortunate homeless surge possibly coming your way. So we could be expecting another tidal wave of increase, unfortunately, but you have tackled the adversity with just an amazing amount of positivity. You've gotten it going on in a short period of time. You're handling everybody's needs. That is incredibly, incredibly impressive. Kudos to you guys. Are you in need of anything at this time?
Well, we are financially, we're spending about $1,500 every single week because we've had so many food drives. Like the letter carrier food drive was supposed to be coming up in 2 weeks. And that really stocks our shelves until November, and that's been postponed. So to meet the need of 500 people a week, we've been ordering about $1,000 to $1,500 a week on dry goods and everything else that we need. So financial donations are great. They can donate at oldtownmission.org, or we are accepting donations, so canned and dry good. And we have a process. We're not sorting those cans for a few days before they come in. So that way they're kind of sitting there if there's any virus that's left lingering on anything before it gets out to the people. It's been kind of sitting in a nice place for about 7 days. So we're kind of, so we've opened that back up so they can drop off donations. Yes. Just the food, no clothes, unfortunately. And our thrift store is still closed, which is really depressing because I love to shop.
I know. I am so jonesing to go shopping. Thrifting is my life. I love it. It's my happy place is thrifting.
It was a couple days ago. They said, we need some clothes for the homeless resource center. And I'm like, I'll go to the store. So I went up to the store, opened it up, and I went shopping for our resource center. So I kind of got a little bit of shopping in, but
you did. You got a perk there. And how is it that you're managing to run everything with a reduced amount of volunteers?
Oh, we actually pulled down a lot of our staff because we did have to lay off some staff, but we pulled down as many as we needed there. So that's actually an increased financial burden on our part because we usually, pay all of them through our thrift store. But so without that, but we pulled them all down. So we have extra staff members that are filling in and they're doing a great job.
Well, that's great. Well, you look amazing, Kelly. You're just like, I got this, totally taking care of the needs of everyone in the Verde Valley for 30 plus years. And now with the need doubling, and I just, feel really, really glad to have you in the Verde Valley.
Good. I'm glad you waited because the first week it was crazy. We would have completely different story. We didn't know what was going on.
Oh my gosh. Well, you've got it all figured out now. So check out the oldtownmission.org. We've got information there on everything. The food pantries, the meals to go. There's also the home delivery option. There's also free legal advice, the Homeless Resource Center. Numbers to remember, 928-634-7869 to sign up for legal advice or home delivery of a food box. Anything you need, you can find at oldtownmission.org. Thanks, Kelly. Appreciate you joining us. We'll be right back with more of the experience, so don't go away.
Orkin has pest control down to a science.
When your business chooses Orkin's Precision Protection Program, you get a tailored pest control program for your specific industry and environment.
Your business can benefit from over a century of experience, training, and scientific knowledge that define the Orkin man.
Maximum protection, minimum exposure, backed by one of the industry's most comprehensive guarantees.
Choose your locally owned and operated Northern Arizona Orkin and get more than an exterminator. Get an expert.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. We now have the pleasure of being joined by Colleen Gilboy, the Executive Director of the Verde Valley Fairgrounds. Hello, Colleen. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. Thank you for having me again.
Absolutely. Now, on the last show, we talked with great disappointment about how the annual fair had to be canceled due to what's been going on with the pandemic. But take heart. I mean, the running of the bulls in Spain was canceled. The Boston Marathon was canceled. and the Verde Valley Fair was canceled. So it's totally understandable. We are heartbroken, but we will move on. But the main thing that we want to talk about today is how all those children who have spent the year raising an animal these past months, put in all that for the auction, for the livestock show, how we can still participate in that while keeping our social distance.
That's right. This year we're having a virtual livestock auction, and they actually had a virtual show last week. They sent it to the judges. Those results are back, and we're going to do a Facebook Live on that. So wish me luck there. So all these changes, and now we're going to have a virtual auction and have people bidding on these animals live on the computer. So live via computer.
Right. Yeah, like eBay. It's basically a big giant eBay day.
That's how we're trying to describe it. A livestock auction via eBay-ish.
Yeah, right. I think there's rules on eBay. You can't do live animals, but this is different.
This is different. Yeah.
It's not really eBay. But yeah, the show, it seems like it went well. You said you received lots of great videos. I know they gave out buckles and awards, and the kids were able to participate that way. That's wonderful. I know that means a lot in the life of a child to be able to complete that project that they've been working so hard on. And now to be able to complete the sale, because it costs a lot of money to raise one of these animals. And a lot of people, depend on this. And a lot of people get, they're stuck for the year, the freezer.
Right. And then, we've got these kids that are seniors this year, and this is their last project. A lot of them use this over the years for their college education. And you kind of want to finish that. And that's part of raising an animal, from the beginning to the end.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to be able to complete that.
Okay. So I'm someone, I've always gone and gone to the auction and really enjoyed it. And this year, wow, how do I participate? What do I do?
So it's not available today, but it will be available Monday. You'll go to our website, vvfair.com, and there's going to be a link that says buyer's registration. You'll click on that. It'll take it right to our platform. If you'd like us to email you that information directly, you can email us at fair@vvfair.com so that we can send you a link if you don't want to go to our website. But it's best to go to our website, register right there, go to our site, and you'll be able to bid on all these amazing animals.
Oh, great. So the virtual auction starts with pre-bidding, which is nice. You can get your bids in there. Now, there are minimums for things, which if you go to vvfair.com, there's great information. Really, the website talks you right through it, Colleen. Kudos to whoever put that together. So that's great. So the pre-bidding starts Friday, May 1st at 9 a.m. in the morning. Right. And the actual live auction is Saturday, May 2nd, starts at 9 a.m. And you go down the list of exactly how the animals are listed.
Correct. And we will have that listed ahead of time on our website, so you'll be able to see the order they'll be in. And then obviously ones won't close till the prior one closes. Just like if there was an auctioneer there calling out the bids, we don't want people to be going around the backside and finishing on one. We want those kids to all have their time in front of the camera, basically, to get those extra bids. So, we want to make sure all these kids, we set the minimums to hopefully cover costs of food and animal. That was our goal.
Right. And the minimums are very reasonable.
Yeah,
very, very reasonable. A couple $100. It's like super reasonable. You can't go buy a pet for that. So, that's really the best. Now, when we are sitting at our computer during the live virtual auction, what will we be seeing? We'll be seeing any video, any picture of the animal?
You'll actually see the picture of the child with the animal. That's what you'll see. It'll tell you their name, the club that they're with, the weight of the animal on the large stock. We sell all of them by the head. We're not doing by the pound this year. This is a whole new experience. And that seemed like the easiest way, but the weight will be listed, so you will know. And then we have 3 processors that we recommend using. Some people do purchase animals at our auction to use as breeding projects at home. And so we do have that option as well. But we do have 3 processors. So you buy, and then we make sure it gets to your processor, and then they help you with what type of cuts you want on your animal.
Wow. That's great. So, it's very hands off until it gets delivered to your home, which, can be good, especially nowadays. We're keeping our distance, but we're still supporting the FFA. We're still supporting our local youth. We're helping our children with their education. And this is something that shapes their lives. I mean, this auction had to happen, and you made it happen, Colleen. I am so impressed.
Well, talk to me after May 2nd, but we are very excited. We are very thankful that everybody is being kind and understanding. It is a new process for us. It's different for the kids. It's different for us at the fairgrounds. It's different for the buyers. And we're trying to make that transition as easy and as seamless as possible. So, we try and keep the information out there, and you can always check us out at vvfair.com.
Absolutely. The website is very well set up right there, right in your face. It's everything you need to know, links to register, the minimums, the what's happening, the when, how to pre-bid. It's all laid out for you, completely self-explanatory. It might end up with questions, and they can email you said, for if they want to.
fair@vvfair.com.
Okay, great. If they have questions or something to that effect, just, of course, you never know. Like I said, it's really, really well laid out. Also, the Facebook page, you definitely want to check out the Verde Valley Fair's Facebook page, because there's good stuff going on there, some video compilations from the show, and a few other things that, are good and fun. Oh, you're the best. Thank you for pulling this out of the hat. I know when we spoke just a few days ago, you were like, how am I going to make this happen? And you did. And you look so much calmer than you did last time I saw you. So
I feel a lot calmer. I do. I appreciate that. I just can't wait for this experience to happen.
Yeah, me too. All right. So Friday, May 1st at 9 a.m., you can start pre-bidding. Then Saturday, May 2nd at 9 a.m., the live virtual auction starts. vvfair.com. Everything you need to know, links to register, all that good stuff. Colleen, thank you for pulling through. I really appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right. I can't wait to talk to you until after. I want to hear all about it. So I'll be there. I'll be sitting here, actually, rather than there. So, all right. Thank you so much, Colleen. We'll be right back with more of the Verde Valley Experience. So don't you go away.
Been hearing about the crazy benefits of CBD? Find out how CBD can help you at Sedona's #1 resource, CBD Sedona. Come in for a free consultation and let our trained medical staff help you find the perfect product for you. Pain relieving salves, full spectrum oils, honeys, teas, cookies, and even CBD for pets. Ready to feel fantastic? Come on by CBD Sedona today.
With too many senior homeowners falling short in their retirement dreams, there may be great news for you. A reverse mortgage may be the answer. The flexibility it provides may help you with your retirement dreams, peace of mind, and quality of life in your retirement. For your in-home, no-obligation consultation, contact me at 928-225-7418. That's 928-225-7418. Or you can find me at Facebook at Jim Hostler, Reverse Mortgage Specialist.
Award-winning Soundbites Grill is an entertainment restaurant located in Uptown Sedona at the Hyatt Pinion Point Resort. Open for lunch and dinner, featuring fresh fish, all-natural hand-cut beef, even a full vegan menu. Family-friendly, open 11:30 to 9, late dining on Friday and Saturday. Soundbites Grill has some of the best views of the Sedona Red Rocks. Offers world-class entertainment, food, fun, and music.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. We're now here with Richard City, the president of Gardens for Humanity. If you were like me, you've been gardening like mad the past couple of weeks because you haven't had much else to do. And the weather has been actually quite nice. So it worked out perfect. Really, you can look at that as a benefit. You've had extra time to do some gardening, which I've definitely done. Richard, how about you? You've been outside a lot.
You bet. It's irresistible. It's hard to come in and have a Zoom meeting when the lilacs are blooming and the wildflowers are all over and the bees, and it's irresistible. It's so beautiful. With that rain that we had, it's just everything seems to be bursting. Of course, we're at a lower elevation than where you live here in Sedona, but it's so beautiful.
Absolutely. We had a great winter. Lots of water came down, and I think we're going to do really well there. And the wildflowers, you know, they're busting out, it seems, in Cottonwood. They're coming out everywhere in Sedona. They haven't quite gotten up much going on Flagstaff yet, but it's coming. And now is a great time to get out and garden. I know a lot of people have been talking about revamping the Victory Garden from World War II. That is a big topic right now for people to plant their own virus victory gardens. What have you got going on with that?
Well, a lot of us are too young to remember, but the stories are amazing. When you think that 40% of the vegetables came from victory gardens by 1943, that, you know, that's astounding. And people were canning and preserving. So, you know, it takes a crisis sometimes to make us reconnect with the earth, because, you know, that's where our solid ground is. You know, when our feet are on the ground and our hands are in the soil, it really brings us back to reality.
Absolutely.
So
now, if someone decided that they wanted, maybe they're not a gardener, maybe they haven't, but they're going to give it a go. You know, what are some of the top things they need to know about? Let's start with soil, because soil is ultimately one of the most important things.
Well, soil, you know, it all depends where you live, how the quality of the soil is. But when we look around us, we see abundant vegetation, trees and shrubs and everything. So the soil, the native soil, is really rich. So a person has to kind of evaluate where they're going to put their garden and just kind of take a look and review their soil. And mostly what you have to do is, if you want nutrition from your soil, you have to give nutrition back. So we look at a lot of the microorganisms and the life in the soil. How do we enhance that? And the best way is compost and living matter, living green organic matter, because we have to put life in the soil to get life out of the soil. And it's a very simple relationship, but some people feel they can get that with chemicals, and chemicals are not alive. Compost is alive, and some manures have microorganisms. So we have to work with you know, organic matter a little bit to help the soil retain water and have enough nutrients. Yes.
Absolutely. And you always have a more of an abundance of compost than you realize. And putting a compost pile together is as simple as building a little fence with a little cover, keep the animals out of it. Or you can get one of those fancy schmancy turn them up things, or you can do it in a bucket. It really doesn't have to be all that big. Of course, worms are really great, and other microorganisms are really, really great. And water is a really big thing, considering where your water comes from. If you have city water, is it chlorinated? If you're using a rain catchment system, super easy to put on. If you've got gutters, you can use range catchment, and that's going to be great. If you're on a well, hey, you're in luck there. But water is super important.
It is, and we don't realize that we have a lot of water, and usually we just let it run away and get off of our property. But you can catch it. You can catch it in, you know, rain barrels and so forth, and that's a good supplement. It's not going to irrigate your whole garden through the summer, but it's nice. You can use it on house plants or hand water to get the seeds started. And rainwater is highly nutritious for plants. But in our environment, it's really, we have to think about conserving water. And that would include using mulches, organic mulches, after the plants are planted to reduce evaporation. So it's all, and also to grow plants that are adapted to our environment. So there's a lot of little considerations to think about, but even the novice can have success. If they just use native soil, where I always say, if weeds are growing there, then vegetables can grow there, because there must be nutrients. And you know, if you look at a yard and you see, oh, there's a big patch of weeds there. Well, what that means is there's probably more water there, and there's more nutrients, because weeds actually are putting nutrients into the soil. So when you pull the weeds up, you're leaving the nutrients that the weeds anchored into the soil. So I always, you know, just for a rule of thumb, if weeds can grow, then vegetables can grow.
That's great to think about that, Richard. I never really thought about that. And of course, you know, you really can look at your yard and see how the water flows through it and where the best place to plant would be. And of course, got to consider sun as well. But now, what should we plant now? I know now is really getting to get it in the ground kind of time.
Well, now the nighttime temperatures are warm enough to start putting summer veggies in the ground, because they like nighttime temperatures over 50 degrees. And but we have to be aware, at least in the Verde Valley, you guys have a longer, a shorter growing season up in Flagstaff, but in the Verde Valley, we use the mesquite tree as our barometer of frost. And maybe it's an old farmer's tale, but we've been here for a long time and it really works. And that is, when the mesquite tree starts budding, there will not be any more frost. And that's usually around Mother's Day. So either you can follow Mother's Day or follow the mesquite tree, but you have to be really vigilant. If you put your warm weather crops in now, in the next few weeks, they'll thrive because the nighttime temperatures are going to be warm. But you know how it is here in central Arizona. We could get a cold front that comes in and get a freeze, even in May. So, right. But if the mesquite tree is starting to bud, it's pretty safe.
Okay. Are they budding at your house yet?
Nope, not yet. So,
okay. So hang on to your plants. Now, if we did put plants in the ground and it is going to freeze, what can we do? Can we put a blanket over them? Can we put a sheet of plastic? How can we
you can do all
minimize
of
the
that.
damage?
They have something called a floating row cover, which is a lightweight fabric, and you can cover your your seedlings with that, and that will retain some of the heat and prevent some frost. But or you can cover it with mulch or plastic just for the night, just to keep the cold air off. There are babies, we have to keep them warm at night, just like they want to be cozy and warm. And but there are some plants you can plant now that are pretty frost resistant.
Good.
Peas, you can plant your spring peas, some salads and greens. They do very well in cool weather, and some of them actually prefer the cooler weather.
Great. I know I have all kinds of seeds waiting to go in the ground. And because I'm farther north, I have to wait until May, and it's so hard to wait because I want to garden now. I want to get them in now.
Well, it's
difficult to wait.
You can get radishes in the ground and, some root vegetables. Radishes will be ready in a month and a half. Maybe I don't know about up in your part of the woods, but down here in the Verde Valley, if you put radishes in, you can eat the radish, including the tops of the radish, in about a month and a half to 2 months.
That's
so
great.
And they'll do very well. And if you have kids, that is extra nice, because they're not as patient as some of us are, and they want to see results really fast.
So plant radishes if you have kids. Granted, what kid eats radishes? I'm not sure, but at least it's something growing. And speaking of kids, Richard, now that we're all doing these social distancing and the requirements that we're all following, to one degree or another, and social and all that stuff, getting your kid outside, super important. So they're not sitting there on Zoom all day. They're not sitting on the computer all day. And gardening is great. It's great exercise. It's fresh air. It's good family bonding. I mean, really, that's what Gardens for Humanity does. It gets people together. It gets them outside. It brings the awareness up of how to treat Mother Earth. But this is a wonderful time to take advantage of building a garden with your family, what it does for kids, teaching them to be stewards of the earth.
Mm-hmm. I'm really hoping that some of the, in every crisis, there's some beautiful lessons to be had and some outcomes. I mean, all of us are changing our so-called normal way of life, and some of us are discovering new things and even new relationships. So many parents haven't homeschooled before, and now they're with their kids a lot more. And this if you're a novice gardener or an experienced gardener, you can just learn right alongside your children. And there's so many beautiful resources out there about gardening with kids. And, they need to get away from the screen. They're doing school now on computers. They're probably interacting with their friends on computers or smartphones. And it's good to get away from screen time and get out there and get dirty a little bit and discover the life that's all around us. And, we have to have compassion for people who are living in apartments and don't have yards. And, in normal times, a community garden would be the place where they would be able to gather and work outside. But even if you don't have a garden, you can make a pot of soil and plant something, or just take a walk and look at all the beautiful things that are happening in spring. There's songbirds out there. There's more and more insects, and you can bond with your children and bond with nature together and have some very good experiences. And I think, living where we do is a real privilege. I'm so grateful every day to be able to go outside. And for us, social distancing means taking a hike and playing outside. And it's so beautiful. And I really hope that one of the takeaways from the hardships of this time, I mean, so many of our neighbors are suffering, but if we can create better relationships with other people and with the earth and with all the life that surrounds us, it's really good for our mental health. And we won't feel so confined either.
Yeah, absolutely, Richard. You're right. Well, Richard did a great thing. He created a Plant a Garden and Grow Your Own Food page with resources for the wise in the house too at gardensforhumanity.org/start-a-garden. So check that out, gardensforhumanity.org. Lots of information there for things that are going on now, things that are going to go on later. Great resource for all your gardening needs. Richard, thank you so much for meeting with us. Really appreciate you.
And
we'll be right back with more of the experience. So don't go
away. Thank you.
Been hearing about the crazy benefits of CBD? Find out how CBD can help you at Sedona's #1 resource, CBD Sedona. Come in for a free consultation and let our trained medical staff help you find the perfect product for you. Pain relieving salves, full spectrum oils, honeys, teas, cookies, and even CBD for pets. Ready to feel fantastic? Come on by CBD Sedona today.
With too many senior homeowners falling short in their retirement dreams, there may be great news for you. A reverse mortgage may be the answer. The flexibility it provides may help you with your retirement dreams, peace of mind, and quality of life in your retirement. For your in-home, no-obligation consultation, contact me at 928-225-7418. That's 928-225-7418. Or you can find me at Facebook at Jim Hostler, Reverse Mortgage Specialist.
Award-winning Soundbites Grill is an entertainment restaurant located in Uptown Sedona at the Hyatt Pinion Point Resort. Open for lunch and dinner, featuring fresh fish, all-natural hand-cut beef, even a full vegan menu. Family friendly, open 11:30 to 9. Late dining on Friday and Saturday. Soundbites Grill has some of the best views of the Sedona Red Rocks. Offers world-class entertainment, food, fun, and music.
There's a kind of a hush all over the world tonight. All over the world you can hear the sound of nothing at all. There's a kind of a hush all over the world, that's right. All over the world, human sounds are on the ground. Social distancing, you see, that midnight kiss, well, I guess it'll have to be. Is this a dream? The human touch takes a backseat now, so everyone can be COVID-19 free. Forget about a handshake, but listen very carefully. There is no need to hold TP, that's just me. It isn't a dream, please consider this, you know. You're not the only one who might have to go. That's not so, there's a kind of a hush all over the world tonight. All over the world, soapy water's king, Purell's out of sight. There's a kind of a hush all over the world, that's right. All over the world, coronavirus fear is far and near. It isn't a dream, there's a kind of a hush all over the world tonight. All over the world, you can hear the sound of nothing at all. So wash your hands, don't touch your face, don't step inside my 6-foot personal space. Just remember this seatbelt hat, it won't be long, we'll be singing a happier song.
Oh, very nice. Marie Jarreau, everyone. That was wonderful. And her coronavirus song. I loved it. That was very humorous and very poignant. Thank you for writing that, Marie.
Thank you.
And that's always such a happy tune that Herman's Hermits, right? Wrote the original music to that.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, yeah. The perfect vehicle for all those great words. Of course, don't hoard TP. That's just mean. I like that. I like that.
I was watching one of the reports on the news, and the reporter was standing in the middle of the street in Italy after they had locked everything down and everybody was, isolating. And his words kind of spoke to me. He said, it felt so eerie. He said, I can't hear a sound. There's just this eerie sound of quietness. And that's when Herman's Hermit song came to me. There's the sound of a hush. And it just seemed to fit. So we have to laugh to get through it. Hopefully, it brings a chuckle.
Absolutely. I know the toilet paper jokes have been flying for weeks. And paper towels and hand sanitizer and gloves and oh my gosh. And then I've seen some billboards that maybe were a little too soon. There's been a few things I'm like, that's a little too soon. But that song is really great, and how it talks about, of course, wash your hands, don't touch your face. I mean, I think that's a great one for kids to get the point. I think that'd be a great one. I think that should be spread no pun intended, spread far and wide to help maybe children understand what's happening and what's going on. So, and how is it being a musician, being a performing musician at this time when you're relegated to performing just in your home, in your office?
It's tough. When this started early March, I had to cancel from two very important music things that I had scheduled for many, many months. One was the annual tribute to the wildland firefighters. I have done the national anthem and offered other music for that event for the last 3 years. And I knew that I was not going to be able to do that because of the isolation. And another was a big event here. It was going to be the second annual event as a tribute to some of our own wonderful local musicians. Quite a big gala. And I called to cancel out of that one because I have my own issues that make my immune system a little less than robust. And so I knew that it was going to be important for me to pay attention to that, isolating from large crowds. I miss performing in front of an audience. I miss the camaraderie of the musicians. I miss hearing their wonderful music, all of the talented folks that we have in the Verde Valley. And I've heard the same thing from some of my own musician friends. They really miss not being able to get together.
Yes, yes. Have you been doing like Zoom jams?
I did. I've done 2 of those. Zoom, I believe, was built for holding conversational meetings, and so it's a real challenge to do music via Zoom. We're still trying to figure that out. So it's been interesting. We've gotten a great deal of education on a lot of different things since this coronavirus issue hit us. So yeah, we're having to be a little more creative than we ever thought we would be.
I bet. It's a great time for songwriting. You know, forced isolation is a great time to clear your head and start writing really great songs. So I know a lot of great material will come out of this time, but we can't wait to see you again in the sunshine. If we want to keep tabs on you, to see how you're doing, are you running a Facebook page these days?
I've not really gotten into the Facebook thing as yet. I am doing that because I'm going to be working on doing some concerts from home. And I understand Facebook is one of the great ways to do that. So that will be coming, but I don't have that set up yet. I have been doing a lot of work in the production studio here, working on my tunes, and I have more music. Some new things have been set up on broadjam.com. On that website. It's a music sharing entity. So folks can go and listen to some of my music there. There's a bunch of originals and some covers as well. And also Women of Substance radio podcast carries some of my music as well.
Nice. Is your coronavirus song anywhere if we wanted to hear that again?
It is on Broadjam.
Excellent. Excellent, Marie. That's great. That's very cute and very timely. I'm so glad that you wrote that because it needed to be done. You know, it needed to be done. We need some humor now. You know, everyone is, at least at this point now, we're all settling into what has been called the new normal, but we are missing things like the arts and the music and of course human touch and that sound that happens in a room with people and a musician. And of course, we will get back to that. We'll get back to that very, very soon, but it's important to hang in there and you're still playing, you know, and you're still getting it out there. So we appreciate you, Marie.
Thank you. Yes, looking forward to returning to that buzz of humanity when we get together.
It's going to be quite a party when we do. It's going to be, I'm looking forward to getting out and hearing music and dancing and seeing all my friends and hugging people again and all that good stuff. Music is so important for everyone. And with the summertime coming and the concerts coming and, you know, places we can see you play, you know, we need everything to get back to the other normal. The new normal not quite good enough. Let's go back to the other normal. So can get that handled. We have the pleasure of having you play us another song. What are you going to play next?
I have a song that was written by a fellow by the name of Will Kimbrough. Many folks may be familiar with a children's book called Goodnight Moon. Kimbrough and his wife used that book, that children's book, to put their own kids to bed. And he ended up writing a song with that title. His words in his song don't really mirror the book that much, but I love the book myself, and so I sort of kind of piggybacked onto his work, and I've added some of the lyrics that fit put my own grandkids to bed. So it's called Goodnight Moon.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Marie Jarreau, everyone, beautiful, wonderful, talented lady. So glad you could join us. And thank you all so very much for joining us at the Verde Valley Experience. The Live from the Office series is going well, and we cannot thank you enough for continuing to watch the show. If you'd like to watch it again, verdevalleytv.com. It's a great place to go. Of course, we have our YouTube page, and you can check out every show that we've done prior to that as well. You can see the old normal and the new normal. So thank you all so much for joining us. We'll see you again next time.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Good night, moon. Good night, stars. Good night, old broke down car. I'm going away, leaving soon. Good night, darling. Good night, moon. I don't know where I'll be. I don't know even if I'll see through the window of my room, shining down. Good night, moon. Don't you know I'm gonna miss you when the night comes round? That's when I long to kiss you with the moon shining on the ground. So good night, moon. Good night, stars. Good night, old broke down car. It's time to sleep. Let's count those sheep. Good night, girl. Good night, little boys. I don't know where I'll be. I don't know even if I'll see through the window of my room, shining down that good night moon. So good night, darling. Good night, moon. Good night, darling. Good night, you great bride.